This film is a part of my China trip and follows on directly from my Forbidden City film, also on YouTube. It's part of the same tour, same day, and at this point we just got out of the Forbidden City, and there's a shot coming up in a moment showing you the entrance and all those people going in. Thankfully we're going out, and we walked across Tiananmen Square to get our tour bus. There was only about 8 or 9 of us in the tour that day. This is February, by the way, in 2008, and we basically were driven around and the tour continued. Just a few shots of Tiananmen Square here. I've taken a lot more, and I'm going to put that on a separate film, I think. So the next stop on the tour was the Temple of Heaven, which is a bit further south in Beijing, so you needed the bus to get around. There's my tour guide briefly. So this must have been late morning by the time we got there, and yeah, it's pretty impressive, this. So there's a few shots of the Temple of Heaven. We had about 15 minutes here, and then we were taken off to lunch. What you find on these tours is in China, it's the first time I've experienced it, is you get taken off to shops selling things like jade or pearls and or cotton, that type of thing. So I had 2 days of tours, and they seem to squeeze these in and try to get you to buy a few things, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So after lunch we drove up to the northwest part of the city to the Summer Palace, and this was really good. I thought it was a really good afternoon. I wish I had more time to explore it myself. And you can see here where you're walking along the lake here, but you don't actually go up to these buildings. We didn't go up to these itself. That seemed to be cut off as far as I could tell, and the public wasn't open to the public. This tree here is so distinctive, so Chinese in style, isn't it? And they have this long corridor here, which I think they said it was the longest in the world, but it's when I turn back, you'll see the artwork is absolutely beautiful. It's really intricately designed. There's my tour guide in front of me. He was really good, you know, he must do this job every day, but he was very enthusiastic and very keen. This shot's a bit better. It shows you the length of it, and you can see some detail on the roofs here. Getting a bit busy now. Must be very busy in the summer. Yeah, look at this. You can get some idea of the intricacy of the artwork here. So as I said, I don't think we were allowed up here. The public weren't allowed up into the actual palace itself. So we basically just walked back along the lake to where the minibus was. And they drove us back into central Beijing, back to the hotels. And that was the end of day 1 tour. And I enjoyed it immensely. Probably the only time I'm going to go to Beijing in my life. So I was glad to see the Forbidden City, and the Summer Palace were worth visiting as well. If I was a bit more adventurous, I would have tried to organise it myself, but it's a little bit more difficult in Beijing. You need to know what you're doing and be well organised. So a tour is a good way of doing it, but you have to make sacrifices, and you go timetable. Anyway, check out my Great Wall of China film, which was the next day, and that's the end of this movie.